Chennai Mare, Chennai Mare, Chennai Mare, Mare Mokurukuru, Mare Mokurukuru, Mare Mokurukuru, Uzai Muzimu Mukuru, Uzai Muzimu Mukuru, Uzai Muzimu Mukuru, Chennai Mare, Chennai Mare, Chennai Mare. Regai mazwi andino taura ne fungwa zemuyo mangu zinzikwe ne mimwari. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah of our creation. Tenai mare, mware kumbore rai Africa, ngai simuzire zitarayo, nzwai metero yedu, isumuriayo, itumuriako, uyamweya, kumborere, uyamweya, muzbene, isumuriayo, itumuriako, tenai mare, tenai mare, tenai mare. God bless Africa. Yes. Lift up the name of Africa on high. Hear our humble prayers, oh Mario Jah. We, the family of Africa, we, this family of Africa. Come, Great Spirit, come. Come and bless us. Come, Great Spirit, come. Come and be with us. We, the family of Africa. We, this family of Africa. Tenai Mare. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Let me hear you. Mosiah lives. Mosiah lives. Mosiah lives. He lives. Royal elders, queens and kings, princesses and princes of great Mama Africa, I bring greetings as always in the most precious, powerful and bountiful name of our motherland, Alkebu-Lan, Mama Africa, in the sacred spirits of our most gracious ancestors, and in a prayer for oneness, hope and prosperity for all African people upon the face of Mother Earth. Rumbitso kunamwariye Africa. To the God of Africa be the glory. Rumbitso kunamwariye Africa. To the God of Africa be the glory. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Giving thanks and praises unto Marinya Kusika through Mutumukuro, our great ancestors, for life, for the meaning and the purpose of life, for health and strength and daily food, for the rising of Amin Ra upon this blessed day of Umoja, the day when we observe the first principle of the Umbuzo Saba. Umoja, unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Right. What did the Most Eminent Prophet and King, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey, urge us to do? Repeatedly, unite, organize now, or perish. Unite, organize now, or perish. That's right. Emphasizing that unity is an indispensable prerequisite for organization, which is an indispensable prerequisite for our liberation. Are you all with me, brothers and sisters? We must unite as a people. We must unite as one people. That's right. We must unite as one nation. That's right. Is that right, brothers and sisters? I can't hear you. I need to feel you this afternoon. Help me through this message. I will not be long, and I mean it this time. because we have heard some powerful words on the theme, exonerate. We exonerate Garvey. And I'll say a few words on that, but let me precede my remarks by hailing my elder brothers who spoke before me. Baba Sengobaye, former President General of the UNIA-ACL, and Baba Akili Nkrumah, the present President General of the UNIA-ACL RC 2020. Can we hear those giants who are walking among us in the shoes of the Most Eminent Prophet and King, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey? They are sitting in his office, brothers and sisters, carrying forward his legacy. And it is important that we recognize them for who they are and for what they are doing for us. It is important that we identify the context in which they are able to serve us as they do. Baba Sengobaye, who was taught directly by Baba C.L. James, who was taught directly by Papa Garvey himself in the School of African Philosophy, which he established in Toronto, Canada, in 1937, which is encapsulated in this book that was edited and compiled by Baba, the foremost scholar on the life and works of the Most Eminent Prophet and King, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Baba Tony Martin. Let me hear it for Baba Tony Martin, brothers and sisters. And we have Baba Akili, who was our President General, who was taught by Baba Thomas Harvey, who himself was taught directly by Papa Garvey in the same School of African Philosophy. Those were the men, the brothers we heard from this afternoon. Now, before I proceed to just address in few words the We Exonerate Garvey campaign, I want to dedicate my remarks, first of all, to the departed soul of a notable African who walked among us and whom not enough of us know about, and who left our earthly company a few days ago to join the ancestors. Ever heard of Roy Hackett? Baba Roy Hackett. The person who should be credited with leading the Bristol bus boycott in 1963. And while Baba Paul Stevenson did play a significant role, let it be known that the organizing of that campaign was that the driving force behind that was a Garveyite by the name of Roy Hackett, a young Garveyite by the name of Roy Hackett. Remember that name, brothers and sisters, who founded an organization called the West Indian Development Council, which involved others whose names we need to hear. The first name I'm going to call will caused at least one brother in the room to jump out of his seat. Brother Owen Henry was one of the brothers. I don't know if he's related to anybody in this room. But there's a brother in the room. Let me just put you out to your misery, brothers and sisters. There's a brother in the room who bears that exact name. Can you just raise your hand, please, brother Owen Henry? But it wasn't him, though, brothers and sisters. Brother Audley Evans, Prince Brown, and Brother Guy Bailey, who remains with us. As far as I know, Guy Bailey is alive. These are the elders who were at the forefront of the 1963 Bristol bus boycott, which was the result of the Bristol Omnibus Company refusing to employ African people to work on the buses. Paul Stevenson was the man who was drafted in and put up front because he had a little accent. He had a little English, upper class English accent. We don't hold that against him. We're just putting things in context. It was a strategy. He knew how to speak to the press. And Baba Roy Hackett, he wasn't inflicted with an oversized ego, so he was happy to step back and put the man who was likely to be more effective to be the spokesperson. But you need to know who the moving force was when he left our earthly company recently, a few days ago, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, brothers and sisters. Please join me in putting your hands and hearts together. Please rise to your royal African feet and hear the spirit of Baba Roy Hackett as we call upon the ancestors to gather around him and give him safe ascendancy into the realm of the ancestors. May he rise like Ra on the wings of Ma'at after a favorable judgment in the council of Asar. Ashe, 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 Amen. Ra. Tendai Mwari. Tendai Mwari. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you. I also want to heal our young people, the youth, the younger people who are in the gathering this afternoon. Young people and the children, the youth energy, because as Mbandaka Cabral says, the children are the flowers of the revolution and the principal reason for our fight. Without our children and our young people, we have no future. Without a future, we have no reason to fight. We have no reason to fight. It's for them that we fight for liberation, brothers and sisters. Hear all the young people in the house. Hear them. Hear them. And beloved young people, beloved brothers and sisters, as we hear our young people, understand our young people are under pressure in this world. And I quickly say, if I may, young brother Omari touched my soul so deeply this afternoon when he came to greet me. Just raise your hand, brother Omari, so people know who you are. Lost one of his friends recently. The gunshot, was killed, stabbed to death. And another friend recently in a car accident. You speak to many of our young people and that's their experience, which means they're living in the shadow of death, even in their young and tender years. And if our young people are living in the shadow of death, then we, the older ones, need to take some responsibility. We need to ask ourselves, have we not protected our young people enough? Are you all with me, brothers and sisters? It means there are loopholes in our community whereby our community can be penetrated. The minds of our young people can be penetrated to the point that one of our own young people will take out another one of our own young people. leaving pain and tears in two families at the same time. That is our responsibility. It's not our fault, but it's our responsibility. You all understand me, brothers and sisters? And then my beloved brother also thanked me and the Alkebu-Lan revivalist movement for the role that we've played in his life that has enabled him to withstand to resist the temptation to be drawn into lifestyles that would compromise his safety. Along with his mother and father, Sister Gail, Brother Owen, hear them! Hear them! For bringing their children to our Saturday school and to our Academy of Excellence, our full-time school when it was running, trusting us with their children. For their son now as a young man to come and thank us. Yet, yesterday, day before yesterday, Kuumba Day, I met another young brother in the community. I went to get my car washed by some Kenyan brothers who do a thing nearby where I live. I went to get my car washed by the brothers, and the young brother who I've known from before him born pulled up, glad to see me. You know what he said to me? In our conversation, he needs to link in with the Alkebu-Lan revivalist movement more. He said to me, I don't see my father. I don't have any contact with my father. And you could see the hurt and the pain on the young brother's face. But he said, I need the male, I need the male presence. I need the father figures in my life, and I know I'll get that from Alkebu-Lan. That's what the brother said to me yesterday. So you know I was choked up. And he said, I am going to link in with you. I am going to link back with you, he said. Our young people are looking for guidance, brothers and sisters. And it is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to protect them. It's our responsibility to educate and guide them. Are you all with me? Are you all with me, brothers and sisters? Remembering that the most eminent prophet and king is Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Himself was a young man. Was a young man when he started the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. He was a young man when he traveled, when he said he looked around and he saw that there was no. He asked, where are our businesses? Where are our presidents? Where are our kings and kingdoms? He traveled the world. When he started traveling the world in 1910, he was a young man, 23 years young. And he took on, brothers and sisters, the responsibility of freeing 400 million of us, which was the estimated population of Africans worldwide. This young man went to bed possessed with finding the answer as to how to free 400 million Africans around the world. He didn't go to bed thinking about where he can find the next dance, the next party, the next gathering. Not saying that he wasn't attracted to young women, he certainly was. I hope he was. Evidence suggests he was. But that was not the most important thing on his mind, brothers and sisters. It wasn't big cars. It wasn't bling or whatever the equivalent to bling in those days would be. That was not his number one preoccupation. It was how we could free 400 million African people around the world. And as Mama Mariam Samad, who our young brother Shakara, when he was doing the narrative in the context of the libation today, who called her name. She died at 96, 97. She was born a Garveyite. That was a woman whose mother was at the UNIA convention 1922. That woman, water had broken. And she's hanging on, waiting for Papa Garvey to finish his message so she can dash out and get to where she needs to go to give birth. You know, serious set of people in that. Where them kind of people are there? Where them gone? Mama Samad said he took on all this rock gut. That's what she called it. He took on all this rock gut for us. He took the blows, brothers and sisters. He wedged himself between us and the enemy. Yes? And he took all the blows. Now you understand the context in which the least we can do today is stand with the UNIA ACL and say, we exonerate Marcus Garvey. We exonerate Marcus Garvey. We say it with the brothers and sisters, we exonerate Marcus Garvey. We exonerate Marcus Garvey. We exonerate Marcus Garvey. Shakara was correct when he said earlier on that when we talk about Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and some people with a limited understanding say you're worshiping one man. Bring the word. Bring the word. This is hero worshiping. Beloved brothers and sisters, when we know ourselves as Africans, we know that we are made of the essence of the divine. Yeah. We are gods and goddesses. That's right. We are sacred beings. We were not born in sin and shaped in iniquity, as some Christian religion would tell us. We are born divine and shaped in sacredness and holiness, brothers and sisters. So when I look at my brother, I see purity. I see divinity. I see God. Look at my sister. I see a goddess. Why shouldn't we worship each other? Why shouldn't we worship each other? Nemastu, an ancient word, Kemetian word, that means I bow to the divinity in you. So we can bow to each other. We can worship each other because we're worshiping the divine essence in each other. I look at my young brother, I see purity. I see a young brother searching for knowledge, searching for truth. It is my responsibility to help him to preserve that which is pure, that he's trying to bring out in himself. It is my responsibility. It's all our responsibility. All that we agree here. It's our responsibility. So we are sharing because, someone look young. Because no man came to me and said, I really rate you. I don't know how you do it. How you do what? You see, I have to take off. Take off what? All the beard, the gray beard and the hair and everything. I said, well, that's natural, my brother. What may I take off? I said, I want my grandchildren to know what growing old look like. I'm not going to take that away from them. I want them to see the gray hair so they know what the process look like. I'm not going to put shoe polish on it. I'm not doing that. Make the gray hair grow nice and graceful and can come and sit on the lap and pick out too. No, sir. That's how it should be. My grandfather had gray hair. My father had gray hair. And then when they see me now, pure black hair. I was in 90, everything black. Confusion. So all of we great folk people have a responsibility to gather around this brother and protect him, so that his divinity can be preserved. Because we know that there are corrupt forces in society that is looking to corrupt that divinity, looking to possess him and turn him into a beast. Are you all with me, beloved brothers and sisters? Marcus Garvey stood as a young God, a young deity in the flesh. He did things, brothers and sisters, never seen before, never seen in his time, never seen since. Are you all with me, beloved? And as Baba Akili Lumumba said in his message to us, beloved, sorry, the quotation just slipped me. It's all that gray hair stuff, you know. The gray matter cannot let you down every now and again. A senior moment. I'm told it's a senior moment. But we have to stand up in this time. Stand with the UNIAACL to defend the integrity of an innocent man who stood up to defend our integrity. We have to, as the saying goes, stand up for those who were prepared to give up their life for us. Papa Akili Nkrumah said to us, Marcus Garvey gave his life for us. He didn't just give his life for us. He gave up his life for us. Now, what do I mean? What's the differentiation? He died because of what he suffered. That's giving his life. He died because he suffered fighting our cause. But he gave up his life, individual privileges, his privacy, his peace and serenity. For years, for decades, he gave up all of that. When he could have used his skills. When you think that at a young age 18, he was a foreman for a printing firm in Jamaica. Never seen before. Colonized Jamaica, where only white people got a post like that. At 18 years of age. And when the workers came to him complaining about working conditions and asked him to stand with them, and when the employers called him one side and said, I will not betray the destiny of my people. He stood with the workers. He lost his job, but he stood with the workers. He could have soared through that company, earned big money, set up his own business when he was in a position to get rich and get fat. In fact, he told us that he had to make a decision as to whether to be materially successful and become one of the black whites of Jamaica, or come out openly and help to improve the integrity of the black millions and suffer. He said, I decided to do the latter. He decided to suffer. That's what I mean when I say he gave up his life. Gave up his life. He sacrificed everything. And at one point he said, I gave them all I've got. And now we know, brothers and sisters, when we study the legacy, we learn that the charges against him were false. They were trumped up charges, beloved brothers and sisters. Why? Because when the UNIAACL launched the the Black Star Line Steamship Corporation in June in 1919. Within 3 months, they were able to raise enough funds to purchase a ship for $165,000. That is serious. Ask yourself, what is $165,000 worth in the present time? The district attorney called him to his office and threatened him that if he continued with that project, he'd be in serious trouble. They did everything to disrupt that Black Star Line Steamship Corporation from taking off. Right. When they purchased the ship, they did everything to stop the ships. Right. Papa Garvey said that these ships will run even if it has to run in a sea of blood. That's right. He said those words. And nothing's going to stop that ship from sailing. Right. Thousands of people dipped in their pockets. Ordinary people, impoverished people dipped in their pockets to make it happen. That's right. Because it meant a great deal to them, beloved brothers and sisters. And then the whole world of enemies with powerful instruments of oppression at their disposal, unleash those instruments, and some lackey among us joined with the enemy and turned against him. And a case was brought against him that had no foundation in law. None whatsoever, not a shred. That's why I prefer the word repudiate. That we repudiate the trial and conviction of Marcus Garvey. Exonerate means to acquit, which is important. Don't get me wrong, that's an important process. It means to acquit. But you can acquit Papa Garvey, but you still keep the process intact, so to speak. That doesn't criticize the process. The process may well have been fair, but he's acquitted. We want to repudiate the trial and conviction, which means we totally reject it. We renounce it because it was evil. It was shrouded in evil and chicanery and wickedness and deception and lies. Time doesn't allow to go into the details, beloved brothers and sisters. But read Race First. Read Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Read these books, brothers and sisters. Read Marcus Garvey and the Vision of Africa by Baba John Henry Clark. And we get information, we get the details. Read Garvey and Garveyism by Mama Amy Jakes Garvey. But for now, beloved brothers and sisters, I know that you know that Papa Garvey did not commit a crime. Word, sound, and power. I know you know, as Shakara said, that Papa Garvey, when we talk about Marcus Mosiah Garvey, we're talking about the collective will of African people to be free, as personified in the character and the vision and the work and the legacy of the Most Eminent Prophet and King. So when they went after him, it was an attack on our freedom. It was an attack on our liberty. It wasn't just about Papa Garvey. It's what he was doing for us. And worst of all, and I'll round up after this, worst of all, beloved brothers and sisters, the following year, after putting ships on sea in 1919, by October 1919, then Mosiah 2020, so-called August 1920, they have the first International Convention of the Negro people of the world, let's say the African people of the world. 25,000 African people packed the Madison Square Garden. 100,000 African people marched under the banner of the red, black, and green. 100,000 through Harlem. Shook up the world. Shook up the world. Garvey, man, it's all over for us. And the person they assigned to lead the attack on Papa Garvey was a character, eerie character by the name of J. Edgar Hoover. That sick, nasty, evil man who lived far too long and did so much damage to Malcolm X and his legacy, to Martin Luther King and his legacy, to Fred Hampton and Mark Clark and their legacy, and the Black Panther Party and the US organization. That man caused rivers of blood to shed on behalf of the American government, beloved brothers and sisters. There's so much I wanted to say to you this afternoon, but time doesn't allow. I want to talk about Walter Rodney and how he was taken away from us and how that links in with the Garvey legacy. Are you all with me? Yeah. Maurice Bishop, beloved brothers and sisters. This is a global thing, and all of them were inspired directly or indirectly by the legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So let us leave this place this afternoon resolved to throw our entire weight behind the Garvey We Exonerate Garvey campaign. Right. Remember, Papa Garvey was the victim of a vicious campaign called the Garvey Must Go campaign, where Africans were put at the helm of that, and they worked feverishly with the enemy to destroy Papa Garvey. Are we ready to work feverishly with each other to exonerate Papa Garvey, to repudiate the government of America, the criminal justice system of America? That is the question that faces us this afternoon. And if we can do that, brothers and sisters, then we are ready to answer the call of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey, on behalf of our young people, to unite, organize now, or perish, and rise like the mighty people we are and accomplish whatever we will. Rumbita Kunamwari Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, on this blessed afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. See you throughout the month of Mosiah. Join us as we celebrate 31 days of the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Say with me one more time. We exonerate Marcus Garvey. We exonerate Marcus